Have you ever been around someone who seems outwardly friendly, yet deep down, your instincts whisper that something is amiss? That nagging feeling, that subtle discomfort, hints that behind their warm smile hides a secret darkness. Carl Jung, one of the greatest scholars of the human mind, introduced us to the concept of the shadow, that hidden part of ourselves we refuse to acknowledge. Yet, this shadow often emerges in the way we treat others. When feelings of hate, envy, or resentment simmer beneath the surface, we might try to hide them, but they never disappear entirely. The signs are subtle, but unmistakable. Today, I'm about to reveal 8 unmistakable signs that someone close to you might be harboring hidden hostility, even if they do everything to mask it. Be warned, sign number 8 is the most insidious of all and could completely upend the way you see certain people. Sign 1. Contempt, disguised as irony. Have you ever shared a laugh with someone, only to feel a sting behind every joke? Often, hidden hostility wears the mask of irony. Picture a friend who repeatedly makes sarcastic remarks aimed at your vulnerabilities. Each time you speak, they lace their humor with subtle digs, only to later dismiss your discomfort with a breezy, "I was just joking." But if these jabs target the same sensitive areas over and over, it isn't mere teasing. It's a quiet expression of contempt. As Carl Jung taught, our unacknowledged shadows project onto others. In this case, every cutting remark is less about humor and more about an internal conflict the speaker refuses to confront. Listen carefully. Does every sarcastic comment leave you feeling smaller? That lingering pain might be the truth hidden behind their laughter. Sign 2. Hidden sabotage. Imagine your success is steadily climbing, but there's always that one person whose actions seem to pull you back. It might be a friend who forgets to pass along important details or gives advice that leads you astray when you're on the verge of a breakthrough. These aren't simple coincidences. They're subtle forms of sabotage. When someone feels threatened by your progress, their own insecurities can drive them to undermine you in small, almost imperceptible ways. Each minor miscommunication, every overlooked detail, might be a deliberate act to keep you from reaching your full potential. Jung explained that when people struggle to face their own failures, they project that fear onto others. So, if you notice a consistent pattern of interference during your most critical moments, consider that you might be experiencing hidden sabotage, a silent effort to keep you from shining. Sign 3. Silent competition. Not everyone can celebrate your success without feeling the need to outdo you. Think of the colleague or friend who, whenever you share a victory, quickly shifts the conversation back to their own achievements or dismisses your news with a nonchalant, "That's nice." This isn't just friendly banter. It's a covert competition driven by deep-seated insecurity. Every accolade you earn is a reminder to them of what they haven't accomplished. Jung observed that our inner shadows often cause us to compare ourselves unfavorably to others. When someone can't fully appreciate your accomplishments, it might be because they see in your success a reflection of their own unfulfilled desires. If every celebration turns into a subtle contest, that underlying rivalry is more than harmless competitiveness. It's a clear signal of envy and a refusal to confront one's own limitations. Sign 4. Superficial support. True support is meant to lift you up during both triumphs and trials. Yet sometimes you encounter a person who appears supportive on the surface, but vanishes when challenges arise. They cheer you on when everything is smooth, but are conspicuously absent when you need a real shoulder to lean on. Their compliments might sound warm, but when difficulties emerge, their concern evaporates. This inconsistency isn't accidental. it may indicate an emotional disconnect. Jung's insights into ego dissociation remind us that some individuals keep a distance from genuine intimacy to shield themselves from vulnerability. If you repeatedly find that the person who claims to care is never there during your most critical moments, their superficial support might be nothing more than a facade, one that hides their true inability or unwillingness to engage emotionally. Sign 5. Control disguised as caring. There are those who wrap their need for control in the guise of caring advice. Imagine someone who constantly tells you what you should do, critically evaluating every decision, offering help that leaves you doubting your own choices. At first, their guidance might seem caring, but gradually it chips away at your confidence, making you feel increasingly dependent. This subtle manipulation isn't born out of genuine concern, but from an inner chaos they're desperate to manage. As Jung noted, when individuals cannot handle their own uncertainties, they may impose their will on others to create a sense of order. If you consistently feel less secure after accepting their advice, it might be time to question whether their concern is truly for your well-being or merely a strategy to keep you under their control. Sign 6. The spread of criticism and gossip. Sometimes criticism isn't voiced directly. It spreads quietly in whispers and offhand comments. Have you ever noticed that when you succeed, a particular person seems to discuss your achievements with a tone of disapproval or spreads subtle rumors about you? This covert criticism is a silent assault on your reputation. Rather than addressing their concerns openly, they choose to undermine you behind your back. Jung taught us that this kind of behavior is often less about you and more about the critic's own inner insecurities. When someone feels inadequate, they may resort to distorting the truth about you in order to elevate themselves in the eyes of others. If you begin to notice that people's opinions about you suddenly shift, or that a shadow seems to hang over your public image, consider that you might be the target of hidden, damaging gossip. Sign 7. A lack of joy in your successes. True friends should light up when you achieve something great. Yet sometimes, instead of celebration, you receive a response that's cool, indifferent, or even dismissive. Perhaps when you share a win, the person's face momentarily hardens, or they quickly change the subject to their own endeavors. This lack of shared joy isn't simply disinterest. It can be a clear sign of envy and unresolved inner conflict. Jung observed that the inability to rejoice in another's success often reflects a deeper dissatisfaction with one's own life. When your triumphs highlight someone else's shortcomings, their reaction isn't neutral. It's a subtle projection of their own unfulfilled ambitions. If you consistently encounter a cold or competitive response to your achievements, remember that their indifference might be a window into their inner struggle rather than a reflection of your worth. Sign 8. The language of the body. Sometimes, the most revealing truths aren't spoken at all. Instead, they emerge in the silent language of the body, a fleeting look, a forced smile, or a sudden change in posture when your success is mentioned. Even if someone's words seem kind, their body may betray feelings of discomfort or hostility. Jung famously asserted that the body never lies, for our physical expressions often reveal what our minds try so hard to conceal. Watch closely. If you notice tension in their eyes, a stiff gesture, or a momentary avoidance of eye contact, these subtle cues speak louder than any words. Trust your instincts. Often, the small, involuntary signals of the body are the clearest indicators of hidden emotions. These silent whispers may expose a depth of resentment that words have failed to mask. Finally, every relationship carries layers of meaning, and the 8 signs we've explored today offer clues to hidden hostility. Trust your instincts when these patterns emerge, And remember that true connection is built on honesty and mutual respect. Thank you for joining this journey. If you found these insights valuable, please subscribe our channel for more revelations on the human mind.